Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, Tama Meets a New Toy and the Unexpected Ending. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. It was a sunny afternoon, the kind where everything in the house felt slow and peaceful, except for Tama, my fluffy little troublemaker who always believed every object that entered the house belonged to him. I had just returned from a quick stop at the pet shop, carrying a tiny paper bag with a brand new surprise inside. The moment the door clicked shut behind me, Tama trotted over with his signature, "I know I have something, look." I could practically hear him say, "Human, reveal the goods." I placed the bag on the floor, and Tama began circling it like a tiny furry detective. He sniffed the edges, tapped it gently with his paw, then suddenly leaped back as if the bag might attack him. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped my keys. Inside the bag was a little plush toy shaped like a wiggly worm with big googly eyes and a hidden bell that chimed softly when moved. It was the cutest thing I had seen in the shop, and possibly the silliest thing Tama had ever encountered. When I finally took the toy out, Tama froze. His tail shot straight up, his eyes widened, and he crouched like a lion assessing its prey. Then, with lightning speed, he pounced. The bell jingled wildly as Tama swatted the toy across the room. He chased it like it was a living creature, sliding across the floor, hopping over carpets, and even knocking over his own water bowl. At one point, he trapped it under his paw, but looked around proudly as if he'd caught the world's most dangerous beast. For the next 20 minutes, the house transformed into a chaotic playground of thumps, jingles, and occasional MRRP sounds from Tama. Every time he batted the toy, he looked back at me with a face that said, "Did you see that? I'm amazing." I grabbed my phone to record the moment. His zoom eyes were on another level, tiny paws tapping the floor like a wild dancer performing a freestyle routine. It felt like watching a daily vlog starring a celebrity cat who had just discovered his new passion in life. Little did I know, the funniest part of the day hadn't even happened yet. After the first round of intense play, Tama took a heroic break beside the toy, panting slightly, as if he had just finished the final battle of an anime season. I took the chance to pick up the toy and wiggle it gently above his head. Tama's ears perked up instantly, his eyes dilated again, and round two began. But this time, something unexpected happened. While leaping toward the toy, Tama miscalculated his jump ever so slightly. Instead of landing gracefully like the majestic creature he believed he was, he bounced off the sofa cushion and rolled backward in the most dramatic slow-motion tumble I'd ever seen. He wasn't hurt, just surprised. Very surprised. He sat up quickly, blinking, as if checking whether anyone had witnessed his not-so-professional stunt. Of course, I had seen everything. "Tama, baby, are you okay?" I asked, trying desperately not to laugh too hard. He flicked his tail and looked away, pretending he meant to do it. Classic cat behavior. But the real climax came a few minutes later when Tama managed to bat the toy underneath the cabinet. Normally, he was pretty good at retrieving things from under furniture, but the toy had lodged itself just a little too far. Tama lay flat on the floor, stretched long like a fluffy pancake, front legs digging under the cabinet. He wriggled, he grunted, he made tiny frustrated chirps. Finally, he lifted his head and looked straight at me with the most dramatic expression that said, "Human, help. This is a crisis." So, like a responsible assistant to my tiny feline boss, I got on my knees and reached under the cabinet. The moment I pulled the toy out, Tama snatched it immediately, not even giving me a second to look heroic. But the true ending twist happened shortly after, when Tama suddenly paused mid-play, stared intensely at the toy, and ran away. Not dramatically, not terrified, just ran, like he remembered something very important in another room. Confused, I grabbed the toy and followed him. Turns out the little bell inside the toy had rolled strangely, making a weird offbeat ringing noise. To Tama, this must have been the sound of a cursed creature, and he wanted nothing to do with it. He peeked from behind the doorframe like a spy avoiding danger. "Tama, it's just your toy," I said, shaking it gently. The toy jingled. Tama disappeared again. I couldn't stop laughing. 20 minutes earlier, he was the fearless warrior of the living room. Now he was hiding from a wiggly worm with a crooked bell. That was the unexpected ending, at least for the moment. Later that evening, Tama slowly approached the toy again, curious but cautious. He circled it, sniffed it, and finally tapped it lightly with one paw. The bell made a gentler sound this time, and Thomas seemed relieved. Within seconds, he was back to chasing it happily around the living room like nothing had happened. Watching him go through all these dramatic little emotions reminded me of something important. Even small moments can bring joy, surprise, and unexpected lessons. Thomas' adventure with the new toy taught me that life doesn't always go the way we expect. One minute we feel confident and unstoppable, and the next minute something tiny can throw us off balance. But just like Tama, we can always come back, reassess, and try again with a lighter heart. In real life, we often stress about small mistakes, awkward moments, or little fears that pop up unexpectedly. Tama's silly reactions reminded me that it's okay to laugh at ourselves, take a break, and return when we're ready. My advice for today? Stay curious. Try new things even if they seem unfamiliar. Don't take small setbacks too seriously. And most importantly, find joy in little everyday moments, just like Tama with his goofy new toy.